Why I quit buying weed off the deep web. Hello, I have a story/experience I would like to share. It happened to me about a year and a half ago and still bothers me to this day. This will have to be more than one part. So this started back in December of 2015, and at this time I first started to discover the deep web. On the deep web I found stuff that you would expect, like drugs and underage porn, which I didn't watch. I went to the deep web to buy weed, and after converting a prepaid credit card to Bitcoin and sending it to my drug website account, I was able to order weed. I don't want to say the website just in case it gets some unwanted attention from this. I had ordered weed several times by February, but something different happened when I tried to order from a guy with no user reviews. The guy had very good deals, so I overlooked the possibility of getting scammed. Keep in mind, when I ordered it I gave the person the address to the abandoned house. When I ordered the weed on a Friday it still hadn't been sent on Monday. I was impatient, so I gave the vendor a rating of 1 star and commented I would change it when I got the weed. For some reason this made him mad and cancelled my order and refunded me, saying that he did it cause I ruined his rating, even though I said I would change it. Anyways, after that I ordered weed from another vendor which came in 3 days. I ordered weed to an abandoned house and used a fake name. Unfortunately I forgot the name I went by. But when I got the package of weed out of the mailbox I noticed that was another packing envelope. I grabbed it and noticed that my real name was used, which didn't make sense because I didn't live there. I started to feel nervous as I looked at my real name on the envelope. I put both packages in my shirt and rode my bike back home. When I got home I went straight to my room and put the package of weed to the side and opened that one with my real name. When I opened the package and saw, I shit you not, I saw 2 photos, and when I grabbed them to look at them I really started to panic when I saw a picture of my school at night when nobody was there, and the second one was worse. The second picture was not a picture of my neighborhood, specifically the spot where you make a U-turn, and at the U-turn was my house and 2 other houses. My heart at this point was racing 1,000 miles an hour. I didn't know what to do. And as I was throwing this envelope away I noticed one last thing. There was no postage stamp or return address. Edit, I'm putting the second part in this post. Part 2. This is part 2 of this story. If you have not read the first part some of this might not make sense. The link to the first part will be in the comments. So it had been like 2 days after I got that in the mail, and for these 2 days I was paranoid as hell. I was staying in my house, because if anyone was watching, I didn't want them to know what I look like or which house I live in. Well, after 2 days of nothing happening I got comfortable enough to go and finally shoot basketball. After I played basketball I started to feel like whoever was there went away finally, but I was wrong. The reason I realized I was wrong was because I went out the next day to play basketball again, but I noticed something. My basketball was caved in the same way a basketball would do if it had no air. I walked up to my basketball and saw that it was cut open like someone stabbed it. I was angry because I bought that basketball, but I think that feeling was overpowered by fear when I realized who must have done it. Whoever was stalking me was watching me play basketball yesterday. As soon as I thought that, I quickly looked around to see where this person was, but I didn't notice anything. I threw the stabbed basketball into the woods because if someone saw it they would ask me why. For the rest of the day I stayed in my house not knowing what to do. I barely got any sleep, if at all. On my way to school that morning, I didn't really get sleep, but I was alert. I was looking everywhere for something suspicious, and I found something. On my way up to school we drove by the abandoned house I ordered my weed to, and I saw a tan pickup in front of the house. I thought that the owner of the house must have came to check his mail, but out of all the times using that house nobody ever used it. I knew that when I got home I was going back to the house to check the mail, because I had a suspicion that whoever that was put something in the mailbox. I was anxious to get home that day, and when I was in car line to get picked up I saw a tan pickup truck similar to the one I saw this morning. This time I could see it better. It had tinted windows and was a GMC. What scared me even more was that I never saw him pick anyone up. Eventually my dad picked me up, and when we got home I told him I was going to ride my bike. And I cautiously rode my bike all the way to the abandoned house. When I got to the mailbox and opened it up, there wasn't an envelope of package, instead it was a note on a white piece of paper. I grabbed the paper, looked at what it read. The paper said, wanted to play basketball but you left too early.